into this. And basically we wanted to directly start talking and titles kinda padipotayi basically.
Okay.
So on top of it, it'll just overlap this thing. Why to waste? Hey guys, this Priyanka right here, first performer of IMPX. Yeah, but crazy. That's what we usually keep talking about, that first performance. Like from my circle, I keep sort of talking that Priyanka has been the first performer of IMPX first, and she's still quite, not just quite. The growth is like this, and I felt like as much as however far you grow, that's how we also have kept chasing, and I feel you should grow more so we also can come up. But do you remember that day, 22nd April 2022? Sorry, sir, 9th April. 9th, ante kada, first event, 9th April 2022.
I remember that day, but ఆ రోజు ఏ పాటలు పాడా అని మర్చిపోయాను. Wait. Okay, that is conversation. The other one was one-sided love wala story. And inkokati, I sang 3 songs that day.
Yeah, I think you...
3 songs. Wait, if I look at my phone, I'll remember.
You know, I think you sang Titanium as well. You sang in a second one, Titanium.
Titanium padanu, but yeah. I clearly remember that I sang 3 of my songs.
3 of your originals, yeah.
One song that was complete, 2 incomplete unde. So I had to fill the slot, so I had to sing Titanium.
Okay. Yeah,
Titanium kuda aa roz paadలేదు అనుకుంటా. I think the second
one I think. Second, correct. Yeah. So, yeah. Who did you know then? Who did I know? Yeah. Who did you know then in the... Because now when we look back the pictures, no, we can tell everyone. I mean, it was such a big reunion. Like in the crowd, there was from Paraya to Kaden to Mana Boys, Solar System, Rival Mob. It was like, I look at that picture, I'm like, wow, this literally is Hyderabad. Literally so many people. I think first event, some 140 people had shown up. Mental support we got from community. And obviously, because Nawab Gang was in the center of it, they pulled like very good stuff.
I think Feroz was the first one to contact me. We were a part of his community, okay? He was a rapper there. I hardly remember him. I wasn't so social back then. I just kept to myself. I had very few friends. I just know people. Somehow I had saved his number. Like group launch together, that every artist talk anattu. So I have a habit of adding numbers from the group itself. If the name pops up, I add it. So that happened, and he just calls up and says, "Hey Nico, do you have any songs of your own?" And I was like, "Yeah, but what's going on? Why are you asking me this? Do you want to work here? What is happening?" I was like, No, we're doing this show. You should come. That's all he said. You should come.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, when is it happening? All that I found out. I didn't even know much about IMP. Obviously, we both started there only.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I felt heard that day. That okay, mana paatalu manam rasina content vintar janalu ani cheppi. So I didn't know that independent music was a thing. First thing. Okay, people write songs, they just keep it to themselves. So I don't know that this was a scene in Hyderabad altogether. Okay, అనుకున్నా. దాని తర్వాత ఓకే అంటే indirectly I felt supported that okay, people do listen to it, people do perform these songs that they themselves wrote, and there is a scene and అర్థమైంది. Then somehow finished those 2 songs, and
in fact kept going. And in fact so many of these IMP events had become like such, I mean we don't even advertise on this, but they've become like nice networking grounds.
Definitely.
Like so many producers also keep saying that I met that guy, I didn't know he also was a producer, he also is a rapper. So much of exchange of stuff have happened. Bands were formed inside these spaces. So it was quite cool. I mean, I'm sure people did it before, people did it later, but somewhere along the line, I felt like one type of crowd just came into this, who are somehow still kind of active. Yeah.
Kind of active అంటే they are looking for something new కదా, otherwise why would they come?
Yeah.
అంటే I know that in a group of people, in a regular gig lo, if you see that people are enjoying cover songs and all, they obviously వినేస్ ఉంటారు on part lo, but if we add something new, okay, this is something new.
Yeah.
So if they like it in the first go, if they have a first impression that went well, then obviously they'll look forward to more content from that artist. So
Right.
and luckily we have that crowd here and there in Hyderabad.
Yeah, of course. And to be very honest, one of the first things that even since event one I ask is to artists, did you guys have fun on stage?
Yeah.
Like, did you guys have fun? How did you like it? And it's more like appudapude I was starting off, and of course, even till date, I asked that question. Like, did you also? And to be very honest, I always would receive an outpouring emotion that, "Arey, it was so this, it was so that." I mean, when obviously when back then when the normal local boys were saying this, I thought it was more like, okay, opportunity icham, they had fun and something like that. But when more and more bands who have seasoned bands like Chaurasta or Indian Ocean or Mana Maha Project, when they've come and said that, "Hey, it was crazy, like this happened, that happened," and they were showing that enthusiasm, I'm like, "Kare, meer anni shows chesaru kada. What is it so different that we are doing that you are connecting so well?" I didn't understand that for a while, in fact.
అంటే it has a lot to do with who is listening to them. They're feeling heard కదా.
Yes.
Obviously these bands, like if you look at Chaurasta, Maha Project, if you look at Jammers also, they are performing cover songs, but then they're also doing this. So then when they get attention for their own content, that is something else.
Right.
So that is what I personally had in the first show of IMP. So I feel like doing it more. That's what we look forward to. If you're doing the same thing, obviously ఒక సాక్షి వచ్చేస్తుంది ఈ రోజుల్లో అదే పాటలు అనిపిస్తుంది.
Yeah. So in and around Jaipur, so was that the first time you sang originals on a stage? Oh wow, okay. So can you before also around you were active for a year before IMP as well?
No, IMP happened in 2022, right?
Yeah.
So I was performing since 2018, I guess.
Okay.
I think before that also a little bit here and there, college slot, but
right.
Yeah, but I was like not so good at vocals and all. I was still learning guitar and all that. So yeah.
So okay, let's talk about that one particular journey, because now you have a band called Kanya Rasi, like very successful. In fact, people are recognizing this band. In fact, even my non-indie friends, or even nothing to do with around our circle, when I spoke about them over the years, they recognize this band. Kanya Rasi ademo నాకు తెలుసు అని. I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
They know us, they don't follow us, bro.
Probably.
అదొక టాస్క్ లాగా అనిపిస్తుంది జనాలకి.
లోపల వెళ్ళి ఫాలో అవుతాం కదా. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's a whole different story with social media also. So, yeah.
So we'll get there. So what was that centerpiece of story I want to know, basically? Okay, IMP event happened, some originals came out, then again you went back into the market, came back with more and more original shows, but at the same time, as the original shows grew, even the other cover shows also grew. And then eventually you set up a band, you started jamming with the band. Now you started trying to get yourself in these commercial spaces to earn good money. How did that band formation happen? Like, where is it that you met all these boys?
People,
yeah
that's a lot.
And for sure, like కొన్ని trial and errors కూడా let me know.
Trial and errors happened. So it was a fluke decision, bro. So around 2022 end lo, so an inquiry came saying that okay, నాకు 3-piece కావాలి, and I need an electric drum kit only, no cajon, no drum kit, I want a e-kit only. సో another friend of mine came up and saying, అక్క నేను ఇట్లా, సో అభిషేక్ ఉన్నాడు కదా ఆర్ బాయ్, సో వాడు అండి అక్క ఐ జస్ట్ బాట్ అ కిట్, ఐ హ్యావ్ టు పే ద ఈఎంఐస్, సో నాకు షోస్ అంతా రావట్లేదు, కెన్ యూ లైక్ చెప్పు ఏమైనా ఉంటే. ద మినిట్ హీ ఎండెడ్ అ కాల్, ఐ గాట్ దిస్ ఎంక్వైరీ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like hardly half an hour gap, bro. The call we spoke for an hour and a half. Itla indi, I'm struggling, all that. I've just got this. I want to continue. I want to perform so that I know where to improve on drums. Adi. So, sorry, and cheppesi, it's okay. We'll call. I'm getting something happened in between. I got a call from a friend. He's like, okay, I recognize you as an artist. I know you do solos, but we want a 3-piece set. Now, I didn't know who else to call. This guy was there with an e-kit. I was like, can you do a show? And he's like, okay, I'm ready. So, danikana munde, I think a day or two before that call, I met a few people. And I went freelancing anamata. So, somebody needed a back vocalist. So, I went there. I found a bassist over there. Sorry, no, we need bassist, guitar, and electric drums. Okay, bassist number I have. So I went. We didn't have a name also. We just performed.
Right.
Perform అయిపోయింది. Okay, this is something good కదా. అంటే a few of my artist friends who were there, they also felt that it was good and that I should keep doing this more and especially. So I was like, okay, but what do we name it? So a whole lot of here and there later, okay, we formed a band. Yeah, that's how it happened. And later, some people came, some people went. Then again, somehow, all these boys just stuck around. We just have a rapport that, I feel like I didn't feel that, space where I could explore. But with the boys, it's like, okay, ఏదైనా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు, ఏదైనా మాట్లాడుకోవచ్చు. They will criticize me if I'm going wrong. They will criticize me if, something is feeling off with the music, or this is where I should improve. Most people don't do that. They just go back and, కొంచెం మోమాటం ఉంటుంది, లేదు అక్క చేస్తే గలీజ్ వస్తుంది. So we have to move, we have to do something different here, stuff like that. But
right. But quite amazing. Ante the band stories I've heard in since like last 3-4 years is it's tough to handle a band. It's definitely a challenge to handle a band. Ante we don't have a standard format like the West. Band అంటే ఇట్లా ఉంటుంది, స్ట్రక్చర్ అంటే ఇట్లా ఉంటుంది, ఒక పాలసీ అనేది ఒకటి ఉంటుంది, ద స్ప్లిట్, నథింగ్. ఇట్స్ మోర్ లైక్ 4 or 5 friends coming together and trying to make music or trying to generate revenue with each other. But I have seen so many bands just like disband themselves, right?
See, even with people you work together also, it will be there.
Right.
So even if it's an office setup, people will have egos. People have to be the center of attention. People have to convey their opinions. Some people ignore those opinions. There will be clashes. Unless and until you sit and talk it out, nothing is going to work out. Okay, నేను వాడితో ఏంటి మాట్లాడేది అని అందరూ కూర్చుంటే it's not going to work.
Right.
And there are people who will try to pull you down. It's an open fact. People will tell you that this is how you should be. And Namma bro, even in an office setup, like if anywhere you go, you find these people where, okay, you won't do what is needed to improve, but then also you have to pull someone down, pull somebody else's confidence down, or you feel that, okay, so I do a lot of things, you also know that, you also do a lot of things, and there are spaces where something needs attention, you give it to that, right? But office lo, some people feel like I don't need a job, I can just survive on music. People in music, they feel like, okay, తిన్ జాబ్ ఎందుకు చేస్తుంది, మ్యూజిక్ లోనే ఉండొచ్చు కదా. అండ్ దేర్ విల్ బి డిఫరెంట్ ఒపీనియన్స్ అబౌట్ హౌ యూ షుడ్ బి, బట్ if it's not sitting well with the people you're working with, there are going to be clashes.
Yeah, absolutely. Ante I recently read something on LinkedIn. I think Vidya wrote this. Vidya of this one. Yeah. She said somehow something around art and empathy and how this field lacks empathy the most.
Definitely.
Basically, and one thing I saw, which I shouldn't say, but it's okay. One thing that I've actually noticed is because I'm a non-artist, I never consider myself an artist. I don't think I wanna, I belong in that space, or maybe even if I write that one song, or even if tomorrow I write three songs, I probably, because I always came in as an outsider. So one thing I noticed, when we usually put so many artists together, we don't do one act shows and all of that. Yeah. When I saw this for the first time, I was like, blown. Artists are not respecting their fellow artists. I was shocked because that was the first time when I saw that, dude, he's your colleague. He's another fellow artist. He's got very similar troubles like you. The least you could do is, like, respect that fellow artist. When I saw this, it came in as a
that is
shock,
there
actually.
everywhere, bro. నేను అదే అంటున్నాను
Yeah,
కదా. There are
yeah.
personalities everywhere.
Mm.
ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే, why would somebody else want to be in your shoes at the first impression?
Right, right.
Kada? So until and unless they get to know each other personally, they will not know where you're coming from. And these days, nobody has that patience. Nobody has that time to give it to the other person.
Yeah.
But now, me and the boys have traveled. Everybody knows where everybody is coming from. Everybody, అంటే vaguely తెలిసినా కూడా, they are not going to take it on their egos or whatever, because their personality is like that.
Right.
ఇప్పుడు any guy in my band, if you take, okay, ఫన్ ఉంటుంది, అన్నీ ఉంటుంది, బట్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఎలా కన్వే చేయాలో వాళ్ళకి తెలుసు. దే నో హౌ మెచ్యూర్లీ దే కెన్ కన్వే దేర్ ఒపీనియన్స్, how much the other needs to be understood. They know everything. And luckily everybody is around the same age group also, so that just happens.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's actually
nobody has that patience.
Very modestly said. Yeah. So one thing I want to actually stay interested is, previously, there's a lot of, I mean, yeah, you still do, you still contact a lot of venues and stuff like that, but ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు అలా ఫోన్ వదిలేస్తే, you get calls, you get these returns, you get opportunities chasing you, because you've done multiple sort of things. So how exactly did that change of you chasing hardcore to give me opportunities to now just little koncham relax avta nenu, people do come back? So I want to know that centerpiece of it. And yeah, I'm sure there is still that business development activity that you have to absolutely do. Yeah. Okay, WhatsApp activity. Let's just say that. WhatsApp, Instagram activity.
అంటే ఇనిషియలీ we did see all those days where, but venues did keep coming back to us. That was the biggest advantage. 2 or 3 venues undevi, they used to be like, okay, come off.
Because you guys were that good, right?
Were that good and garu, we just gelled well with the management. They know, okay, itla aitundi, so can you come down?
Right.
Yeah, we know, even now we do that, because otherwise we are not seeing that returns as such. Ippudu we are not the kind of band that has a lot of money to invest in ads and show them that, okay, we have so many followers, we are going to give you this much returns. We're still doing organic promotions only. People, whoever is following us, they are doing it organically only. There's no, what do you call, ads here and there that get people to come to our this thing. But yes, there is a lot of word of mouth that goes into the audience, which is why we're getting a lot of shows. ఇప్పుడు మా షోస్ అటెండ్ అయిన వాళ్ళు, obviously they're going to say something, okay, they're good, let's call them to our wedding or reception or whatever. They do that. But even now we still have to, 15th వచ్చిందంటే like pick up phones చేస్తానే ఉంటాం, like we have days.
Right. Yeah. అది absolutely like mandatory కదా, like as an artist you are your own manager until you get some big ass management or something like that. And in fact, because one returning message or request that I keep getting is gigs. So yes, people ask me for many of these gigs. Obviously we are still a small firm, I want to give opportunities to so many people, but I want actually to understand, or for even the viewers to understand a little bit about what this activity is that will push their opportunities a little more. Ante, see, at the end of the day, you're working hard as a musician, you're writing your own music, but at the end of the day, if you need to be earning as a artist, something you should be earning. That's where you will become serious also, right? So I want to understand that bit. How exactly did you? I'm not saying you completely nailed this game, but yes, you, because as much as I have seen in the last 3 years, you've come like crazy. Like now, and weekly three you're doing on a high gig, on a high season time, you can churn out like 10, 15, 20. Also, what your records are like pretty crazy. But that's what I want to know. What does it take for that multiplication?
I am not sure, bro. But at the end of the day, it's what you're giving to the audience that matters. No?
Yes.
So if it's not matching up to what you're promoting yourself as, it's never going to work. Any business in general needs a lot of honesty. And one thing that's worked out for our business to have the boys stick around, to have the venue stick around, is that we never, felt greedy about something. Never chased after the money. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ లో వెళ్ళి చూస్తే మై బాయ్స్ హ్యావ్ అన్ ఈక్వల్ కట్. Nobody is getting paid more, nobody is getting paid less. Everybody, even including myself, I don't take a cut from them. I said, this is what we got, we're splitting into five, that's it. That's what worked with the boys. And I have a cut off. I'm not going to underpay you. I'm not handling underpayment. If any venue or any what do you call event, somebody's calling for an event, I'm saying I can't underpay my artist just because you're requesting me. It's not going to help us. I'm sorry. It's not going to work, obviously.
Yeah.
You go to a restaurant, for the same glass of water, he's charging 70 rupees. You still buy it. Same water, I'll get it for free outside. Why should I come to your restaurant? Right. You're showing that grandeur or something. Why do you want the artist to negotiate? That is one thing. అది ఆడియన్స్ నీ కస్టమర్స్ కి తెలియాలి that you're not backing off. Then when you actually go there and show value, then they'll come back. That is one point of view. ఇంకోటి ఏంటి అంటే what keeps us consistent is the same thing. What you see is what you deliver. అంతే కదా, what you receive.
Right.
Obviously, ఇప్పుడు even if there is a sound person who is involved in this, they say, okay, నీకు sound system తో పాటు కావాలా వద్దా? I said, you talk to them directly. I'm not going to involve myself in that. మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు మనం ఒకవేళ if we get greedy, take more money from their cut and ఇంత బిల్ చూపించా అంటే it's not going to work. Why will they call you again? Venues so good, it's the same thing. You just keep it transparent. This is what you're doing it for.
Right.
That's it. So, they see a show and then get back.
Yeah. And definitely relationships, as you said.
Relationship is very important. In any business, it's the same.
Yeah. And then comes a very high quality gig. A very high quality gig. Like a high quality gig requires good amount of practice, good amount of discipline, and good amount of chemistry in terms of just the band members, right? So that is another one lacking factor, I believe. Like people sometimes individually are so great, but when they are put together in a band and just cause there is an opportunity, let's go like kill it. I see that some not a lot. I see that they haven't done enough homework, nor they haven't done enough practice. అంటే అది ఇప్పుడు అన్ని ఆర్గనైజ్ చేసిన తర్వాత you can sort of know that practice what is this.
This happens with us also. అంటే we do feel a lot guilty about this. We haven't jammed in a lot of time. But at the same time, okay, seriously, we have to sit in practice. All that discussion happens, but that never comes to the real. It just happens, bro. Because I am working and doing this.
Right.
Like two of them are teachers. They are doing full-time teaching and then doing this. Walaki time darkadu. Some of Abhishek has his own startup. Then he has to do shows.
It's quite tough. Absolutely tough. Quite tough. This is not considering you just having a simple second job. This is literally finding that koncham pocket of free space to fuel your passion and to do all of that.
And at the end of the day, you feel like, energy undadu anipistadi at the end of the day.
Yeah. I actually want to come back to the next part of that.
Okay.
So, okay, crazy. Now that you have done so many shows, You actually once ఒక్కసారి కౌంట్ చేసుకోవాలి నువ్వు. I want to know that one number. Have you
Last year we
counted
did
ever?
that. Some 200 something we did, I guess.
In only 1 year, right?
No.
Okay,
that
total.
is including my solos, I think. I have the wrapped thing somewhere in
Okay.
It's on my Instagram feed.
Okay, fine.
Can
So
I use
something.
my phone? Or?
Yeah, sure.
One sec.
Yeah. నేనైతే 300 350 అని చెప్తున్నా నేను.
365 days లో 300 షోస్ ఇంకా
కాదు, ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ అచ్చా సోలోస్ కూడా వేసుకుంటాను నేను కూడా.
Solos I've done. But that also hardly once or twice a week, no? So 1 second. Where is it from? Somewhere, 2024 wrapped. 110 plus shows. Inception ఉంది 223. 2022 December లో అంటే ఇంకా 2023-24 కలిపి.
That's insane. 200 number is not something.
31% of last year was booked. I did minutes on stage also, simply like that.
What is it?
17,100 minutes on stage.
17,000
minutes, not hours.
I know, 17,000. People don't work out that much throughout the year also. 17,000, okay.
And all this, and people still see how many followers we got. And then book us. I'm like, very judgmental of you.
So tell me, in this 223 shows, I'll ask you one honest question.
Sure.
Give me the percentage of cover shows versus original shows.
So, I think we started performing originals sometime in March of 2020. See, March, no? March lo, sometime in between. I think we had that event, no? God's Interim Toti, Music Day event. When was that?
World Music Day. June 2nd,
I think so. We don't remember names. Dates.
Yeah. God's Interim. But it was in June. It was in June.
Daniki oka 1-2 months here and there. Before God's Interim. So that's when we started. People liked it. But then within the band we had differences of opinion, saying that once we get to that stage of a band's name only we have to perform on this, because they felt it's not enough. I say we still do it.
Right.
So we had a difference of opinion over there, and some people had a different opinion, fell apart. Then we had to build it up from scratch again. I broke down during that time. I was like, why is it not working out? I trusted them so much. All that drama happened. After that, we kept going. So, but I think we perform like 5 to 6 songs. We try to perform 5 to 6 of our own stuff during our cover shows.
Even during your cover shows? Oh, that's nice.
Every show we do it.
Okay, that's crazy. That's that's a good change then. That's fantastic, because I remember last time when you were, I think, telling me or something, you were thinking of a song launch. And I said, chase but why song but that's very good. And what I wanted to ask is, what are the percentage of the people asking you for cover music versus people asking for your original music?
See, cover songs ki when
songs kaadu, direct show booking antunna nenu.
Direct
show booking ki
em prati show lo istamro
enti
only cover songs ki they don't ask first thing, are you available for this season? Okay, what is the requirement? Hindi only kavala, Telugu only kavala, all this happens. But then he still slip a few under the carpet and
right.
This is our song, enjoy.
Right. But ante ade kada ipudu, like if it's not for the communities, the smaller communities who are doing exclusive independent music, usually the client requirement is play the cover music, and basically. So are you feeling that doing more original music, because now 30 finally.
No, I don't know why this happens. You always mention a number higher than my number of originals, and I end up making them. Like just before, I think some event happened.
I think NASCOM happened.
NASCOM happened. You were like, okay, we have 27, bro. 27 now, okay. And you down figure 30 years now. And New Year ended and I already had three songs, 3 new songs on the table. I'm like, wow.
Cool. Next in 40.
Yeah.
I'm
That's what.
gonna say 40 next. But okay, so tell me, is doing original music or composing, working for your original music, giving you more gigs? Is it somewhere causally linked?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Why are you doing original music?
Simply.
That's a great answer, actually. To be very honest, that's the most honest answer I've actually received. Yeah.
I feel that original music unte artist character బయట పడుతుంది.
Right.
Many people have spoken about this. Kani, obviously, if you are the singer songwriter, both, like if you also write your own songs, you get a perspective on the person. Okay, how is he thinking? How he or she is thinking? Why is somebody thinking like this? All these opinions, no. So obviously, you do it for yourself to express. I'm not saying cover songs are bad because everybody loves cover songs. We all relate to few movies. ఆనిముత్యాలు ఉన్నాయి పాటల్లో. But having your own thing is also satisfactory.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And you're very proud of your originals, like, and like so many of them are so beautiful. Actually, to be very honest, I haven't heard a bad song from you yet. I haven't heard a bad song from you, from your original yet. I'm actually waiting.
I have a favorite.
అంటే సి 1-2 బ్యాడ్ సాంగ్స్ వస్తాయి. పింక్ ఫ్లాయిడ్ అన్నా వస్తుంది, పింక్ ఫ్లాయిడ్ కూడా వస్తుంది బేసిక్లీ, బట్ ఐ టెల్ హావెంట్
That's your opinion of me, bro, again.
I'm not biased.
I know you're not biased, but you just have that opinion is what it is.
Sure.
I hope I release more bad songs for you.
Never hope that. I think your original character itself is giving great music. So what is your now ambition with independent music? Like what do you want? Okay, I know what you want it to represent, but where do you see it going? What is your ambition around it? Have you drawn some targets around it or something like that?
Targets am levu, because if I really wanted to have a target, I would release more bangers. I just want to release it in my own time. And go with the అంటే నా మూడ్ బట్టి, నా ఇప్పుడు my state of mind batti, if I feel like okay, this whole month has been fucked up, I will write fucked up songs. Songs about what the situation is.
Right.
So I'll just go with it. But I have a few deadlines, as in why a certain song should come out at a certain stage. That's how I want to take it, but let's see how that goes.
So what do you want it to do actually? You release the songs. What do you want your songs to do out there? Whatever could be the answer. And you feel like, okay, actually cheppalante, when we put out a creative poster or even a picture on Instagram, we have that it should do something, basically. Now everyone's that definition changes. In independent music, it's a little more personal to what is it that they want. Artists say, I don't care about the money that I earn through it, type, basically. But but it needs to represent, it needs to go to a certain people. It needs to resonate with certain people at certain points. Do you have something like that?
Something like that అంటే నా పర్సనల్ ఒపీనియన్ గురించి పక్కన పెడతా. అంటే this is what I feel about independent artists, what they should do or represent అని చెప్పేసి. ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి మనిషికి there are certain things that you're up against, right? So you're against a few values, you're against a few things in the society, avarchu, family issues avarchu, anything. They should talk about them and not just write love songs and songs about life. They should talk about them.
My God, someone said it.
Yeah, ante ippudu I have those songs. They will come out. They will surprise you. I hope so. So ippudu veeti pratidi love song, pratidi it's about life, how life is going to be. Pratidi is about your failures. Pratidi is about self pity or self boasting. What do you want to talk about?
Self-boasting, yeah.
I mean, culture కొన్ని genres లో అట్లా ఉంది. I will not say no to it, but there is more scope to that. If you have a voice, I think you should use it to the fullest.
Right.
So I write songs about society. There are a few things that I feel very, రక్తం మరిగిపోయే కోపాలు, stuff is there.
Right.
So I've written songs about them. And I feel that it should bring more self-awareness in people. Not just, listen and forget,
Right.
but then listen and think. That's what should happen.
Yeah.
Okay, and audience లో కూడా ఈ మధ్య ఒపీనియన్ ఎట్లుందంటే, if it's getting famous somewhere, if you're hearing it for a long time, it's like how it's on social media, you get reels, you listen to a long time, అది ఎక్కేస్తుంది, and then every time you're dancing to the song without listening, even looking at the lyrics behind the song, without even listening to the story behind the song.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Right.
So if the lyrics and the music is good enough, then obviously there is a message to convey. Make it good. That's it.
Is that your songwriting process as well?
That is. And mostly I go with emotion. Obviously, I've written a few love songs. People like it. That's a different story. But at the same time, there are songs which talk about self-reflection, not going towards the superficial things in life. Not going behind praise. Right? People feel that, okay, you get one compliment, you're up on cloud 9, but then the reality is something else. So we talk about that. We wrote a song about traffic.
Wow.
It's a very funny song.
Yeah.
It's going to be very sarcastic.
Okay.
Then there is this one song I wrote about, and it's not a song, it's a poem that I want to lyrically represent to the audience with a few sound effects.
Oh, wow.
It's like,
Okay.
imagine you're in a dark room with yourself, and you're just thinking all the negative emotions coming into place. And I found a very, what do you call, great representation of that. The tale of two wolves and okatundi.
Okay.
This I recently found out there is actually a story.
Okay.
So the story is very simple. Entante, manalo there are two wolves. One is good, one is bad. So they're always fighting. And this person asked the other saint or somebody, I'm not sure who said this, but then they say, who will win? Ever win outar we rondetla ante? He simply says, whatever you feed, whichever wolf you feed. So there is a song that is entirely negative, which is all about self-reflection. It's about your jealousy, your ego, your anger, your pain, everything. So the song's title is Nalupu.
Damn.
Yeah, and it starts with saying, Nenu nee Nalupuni. Yeah,
Okay.
so I am that itch that wants to destroy the other person.
Oh shit. Okay, so it's your self-image. It's your
Everything.
darker thought. It's
That
your
everything.
Oh,
if you
wow.
close your eyes and listen to it, even if it's heard as a poem, you'll feel that. And everybody has that good impression that they want to show to the others.
Yeah.
But then they don't accept the bad side. That's where the problem starts.
Right.
So it's all negative, and then the good side says, "Shut up." That's it. That's how the song ends, and that's the picture I have in my mind.
I can't wait to.
I hope it comes out.
I can't wait to listen to this song. It's so cool. I used to keep thinking about this one. I definitely have this conversation also going on in my head. That ante, it's about consciously looking into these dark thoughts, right? When it suddenly hits, when suddenly doubt vastadi. One day you're waking up confident, one day you're waking up scared. That is life. But when that comes and when you're consciously picturing, right, you'll be like, who is that guy? What is he trying to say? He comes out so often, or she comes out so often, and trying to derail me through something else. I would love to listen to some of your lines if you already have.
With poetry, I like to explain in between. I have this bad habit, bro.
Yes.
So the concept started where, I had a few shitty people in life and everything, which is fine. So a thought got me thinking that, okay, no matter what they put me through, no matter how they made me feel, I turned out to be the exact opposite of them. exact opposite. Okay, so if you're cruel to me, I'm kinder to my friends. This made me something completely different, right? I took all that, and I've seen a lot of people do the same, right? If you, even in the artist community, they've been through a lot, but their personality is something completely opposite. They don't let the the bad side show up. They're genuinely good people. So so yeah. But then a thought came into my mind, and I was like, okay, am I feeling proud of myself, or is it really my ego talking that I'm better than them? Who am I to be better than them, right? So we are all in this together. Everybody is equal, but what is it that's making me feel that నేను వాళ్ళకన్నా గొప్ప? Okay, there are bad people, but ఎందుకు గొప్ప నువ్వు? Right? So that's what, and I'm like, is it my ego talking? ఒకవేళ నా ఈగోకే ఒక వాయిస్ ఉంటే వాట్ ఇట్ బి? సో దట్స్ హౌ ఇట్ వెంట్. వేర్ ఇస్ ఇట్? ఓకే, ఐ ఫౌండ్ ఇట్. సో I'll just give you a scenario that I have in my mind. అంటే లైక్ ఒక గదిలో ఉన్నావు, there is a competition going on. Just imagine, okay, any competition, that to your imagination. Or if you're in a room of people, and నీకు రావాల్సిన some praise is going to somebody else because they are better than you. Obviously, any competition is based on opinion and how the judge feels or whatever, but somebody else got that praise which you thought you deserved. So what's the first thought that kicks in?
What the fuck?
Anger, jealousy, ego, who the fuck are you? All that comes into mind, right? Now think about this, okay? Now this is your inner voice. It says, nenu nee nalupuni. Okay, the room goes dark. You can see nobody around. Kani vini yarugani o kathani aapadani. Okay? I am that dark side that you're trying so hard to hide. If that character comes out, your image in a society or image in a room of people will be destroyed. You want to kill that other person. Right. But if you let that come out, what is going to happen? You're going to be the bad person. But that's the image you're trying to hide. Right? Kani vini yarugani o kathani aapadani. Okay? Needa kaadu nee cheekatini. I'm not something that's outside you. అంటే ఇప్పుడు లైట్ ఉంటేనే షాడో ఉంటుంది. నో, ఐఎమ్ ఇన్సైడ్ యూ. ఐ యామ్ యూ. ఓకే, లోతున నువ్వు దాచే ఓ మసిని. ఓకే, చీకటిని 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 నీ నలుపుని, విడ్డూరంగా చూసే ఓ వింతని, మరణం వరకు వేధించే నీ చింతని వింతని. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ దేర్ టిల్ యూ డై. No matter how old you get, no matter how well off you become, it's going to be there with you. Okay, పైకి కప్పేసే నీ అరుపుని. ఓకే, ఆ లోతున మరిగే యోచనని ఆపదని. ఐఎమ్ దట్ థాట్ ఇన్సైడ్ యూ. ఓకే, ఆ లోపట తిరిగే ఓ మలుపుని, నోరే జారేదాకా ఆగే నీ తలుపుని నలుపుని. Said the slip of your tongue. Right? Okay, అహం 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 ఆసని, కల్లా ఇస్ లై. ఓకే, కళ్ళ ముందున్న ముసుగు వేసే ఓ స్పర్శని. మై సర్స్ లిటిల్ బ్రేసెస్. బట్ మెదడులో బాధే రగిలేలా ఓ దురదని. ఐఎమ్ దట్ ఇట్స్ స్టాప్ ఫ్రమ్ సేయింగ్ నెగటివ్ థింగ్స్. ఓకే, నీ ఆసని 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 అత్యాసని. ఓకే, పర్వాలేదు ఏమైనా బాధపడని. It's like make that other person suffer. Okay, this came. Okay, there's a story behind it. I saw a video where a man was hitting a cow or a buffalo without thinking about why he is doing it. Okay, he just wants to hit that cow.
Some psycho.
Some reason he has, bro. I just saw that reel and I'm like, ఎందుకు దాన్ని ఎందుకంత బాధ పెడుతున్నావు అని చెప్పేసి. సో పడని, like I don't care, right? So if you're in that man's position, what are you thinking? I don't care if you're feeling bad, I'm just going to hit you. Right? There are people like that. పర్వాలేదు ఏమైనా బాధపడని, లెక్కే లేదు ఇంకా పడని పాడవని. I want them to rot. Right? That's the thought inside you. Okay, వారు పడితే మనకేలే అంతా పడని, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్ ఫర్ అస్, అంటే యూ అండ్ ద పర్సనాలిటీస్ విత్ ఇన్ యూ, కిందకు పడితే తొక్కేద్దాం బలి అవని. ఓకే, వింతని మరకని చీకటిని నీ నలుపుని, and this is when the good side says shh. And then you congratulate the other person instead of listening to all this.
గట్టిగా ట్రిప్ అవుతావు ఇంకా నువ్వు.
అంటే this is also because of the people that I had to grow up with, right? So unfortunately I had to see their side, but then you get their perspective as well. Yeah, so that's nalupu for you.
Wow, that's really crazy. I was actually just about to say, hit me with some powerful lines of yours, and you hit me with a whole song. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's a small poem right now, but I have to see how this
unfolds
as a song. Yeah.
Okay.
This is still going to be a monologue kind of thing.
Okay.
But I have a few ideas చూడాలి.
Yeah. I think like you should make a video out of it. This looks so. This sounds also so cool, and I feel if it's a monologue like 2.5 minutes. It is a monologue. 2.5 minutes అయితే కొట్టేయచ్చు, చేసేద్దాం, ఆ రూమ్ లో కొట్టేద్దాం. No, but amazing stuff. So which is the next upcoming song?
So
Chirugali just came out.
Song. This song is going to come out. What? Chakani Chukka is off of all platforms. It's only on YouTube right now. I'm shifting between distributors. So
right. Yeah.
But yeah, Mother's Day also is covered for next month. So June is going to be Father's Day, right? So at the same time, my father's birthday is also coming around. So this is like a gift to him, and also obviously bro, he's 60 something now. Okay, I don't know how long I'll have the time with him, you know. The guilt trip I do. Yeah, so that is one thing. So I want a memory of him to stay. So I'm planning in that song I'll also have, you know, tana voice koncham atu itu. Him calling me or something like that. And a few elements so that his voice stays with me for a long time. Yeah.
Wow, crazy. That's amazing. Bapu, right?
Bapu, yeah.
What a song, by the way. I think you sent me a sample on WhatsApp, and bale guttindre naaku adi. So cool. So one last time, let's just come back to independent music versus commercial music scene. So how do you view the whole indie scene right now? Because I mean, honestly, we have been doing also. Cheppalante, like even the song that you just played with, I think I am that sort of an enthusiast that if a song hits, it'll hit me forever. Until there is a song that can give me goosebumps for 8 years straight every day if I listen to also. Maybe something that is, but there are things like that it does for me. Like and this is usually on music where they like you said, a phase of life. You define it in this poetic tune, and that enters into me and does things, you know, for me. And in fact, even before IMP, like the kind of music that I was listening to is far from commercial. Like I was like listening to 80s metal and probably 70s, and I was just going backwards. Nothing of the front was like anything attractive towards me. So like the other day I said, Sadore 17-minute song, Coco played 9 minutes solo. I was like, what am I watching? It's just the same with Indian Ocean also. Mali తీసుకొద్దాం లే.
Mali తీసుకొద్దాం bro. 2 times like miss అయ్యాను. That is why I regret. I'm like,
Same thing with Indian Ocean as well. And these songs literally like do things inside me, you know, unexplainable stuff, like call it motivation, call it fire. And these things are actually, if I'm saying it, they sound silly, but it is a lot more than that.
At least not to me.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'm unable to pack that emotion in one word. That's the kind of, you know, heaviness that I go through. Yeah, you maximum euphoria, like tears of joy, shivers down the spine, things like that, basically, and that truly reflects, independent music. But honestly, I want that to be spread throughout, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to create some sort of a business model where we sustain, the artists sustain, the people get entertained, and all in all, a new, a streamlined industry is being born. But how do you see that? Because the struggle is real.
Nah.
The struggle is very, very real. I mean, it's tough to commercialize this music. It's tough to sell this music. It's tough to bring audience to this music. So I want to get your perspective in all of these struggles and the toughness.
Okay, I don't think I'm what do you call, bro? What is that word? The person you should look for an answer for this.
No,
I'm very new to this scene. Let's admit that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very new to this scene. But at the same time, all these people, like if you take Indian Ocean, that was the first biggest band I saw performing. So, Vala Beauty, ekkada start ayindi, I feel that it's because of live shows only. They told a story live, right? So they connected to an audience that way, and they stuck around with the
Right.
any good band that you take, which is good with independent music, that is their story at the end of the day. So as long as you have a story to tell, and people who will relate to that story, it's going to grow.
Yeah. Well, why I asked specifically this question is, so Indian Ocean completed 5,000 shows. There is no band in the country, very few bands in the global scale that can claim
I tried
that.
with Indian Ocean. First time I saw them, I was like,
Yeah, it's something else, yeah. Some psychedelic stuff was going on there.
psychedelic కాదు bro అది. And you won't believe, ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు ఫోన్లో స్పాటిఫై యాపిల్ మ్యూజిక్ ఓపెన్ చేసి ఇఫ్ యూ లిసన్ టు ద సాంగ్స్ ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ గివ్ యూ ద సేమ్ వైబ్.
Exactly.
Because అక్కడ you don't know the story behind that song. Getting my point?
Yeah.
When you tell a story before the song or in between a song, okay, this is what the song is about, this is the story behind it, this is how we made it, this is the first thought, all this, no? So when you do that, no ఒక zone లో పెట్టేస్తా, okay, నేను ఒక కథ చెప్తున్నా, I am telling you a story that you won't find on online.
Right. It's a unique pick. అంటే again, why I asked this stuff is, ఇప్పుడు 5,000 shows చేసిన తర్వాత కూడా I'm talking about and by the way, that's 5,000 shows only Indian Ocean. Rahul Ram sir himself has done more shows even outside of Indian Ocean,
more shows, more music also, no? And they jammed with a lot of people.
So
Think
much
about
music. So much. I think after all of that also, the glory is not as much in terms of a commercial value, I say. In terms of అదే కదా, like because that's what ఇప్పుడు can we compare it with a Diljit? Can we compare it with a, or even can we compare it with a Pratik Kuhad, or can we compare it with a
Pratik Kuhad is an independent artist, no?
I don't want to say anymore because a lot of music has been sold.
It's okay.
Sold here and there. He's constructed himself a very nice commercial. Cool. Probably Pratik Kuhad might not be
who wants to buy the music also, no?
Correct. Pratik Kuhad definitely might not be my number one example, but you get my point, right? So Yonita Gandhi, that's still not at that range, and I believe, and I was just brainstorming, how do we take it to that range actually? How do we bring along what change should come? And చాలా మంది they end up, it's a very tiring question to ask also. In fact, you told me many times, జనాలు మారాలి బ్రో అంటావు.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లయిందంటే, this we discussed before the podcast also, no? That సోషల్ మీడియా ఒకటి, జనాలు బయటికి రారు ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, వచ్చినా కూడా దే ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ద సేమ్ థింగ్స్, దట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే, వాట్ పిసెస్ మీ ఆఫ్ ఇస్ దట్ దే డోంట్ నో హౌ టు ఎంజాయ్ లైవ్ మ్యూజిక్. Okay, so if you are going to a show, You're going there to see the artist. That was the case with concerts, and if you see the US culture, or if somebody our age or somebody older than us is going to a, let's say, if Pink Floyd comes to India and does a show, or if Maroon 5 comes to, Maroon 5, or what's their name, bro? Recently they came to India, no?
Ever mana Guns N' Roses are coming.
Coming kaadu, they already
Green
came.
Day.
Green Day came. There was this famous artist that came to.
Deep Purple.
No. Solo artist, I think. So many of my friends went there.
Ed Sheeran.
No, bro.
Coldplay.
I'm not saying Ed Sheeran is a bad artist but yeah.
Okay.
If you look at 20 years back on an artist to come to India and you look at the audience, they're not the ones holding the phones and listening. They're enjoying the vibe.
Yeah.
If you're going to a show holding your phone the whole time, where are you listening? And you know what happens? I find this very, అంటే జనాలని ఇన్సల్ట్ చేయాలని కాదు, but they come up with requests. Okay, that is fine. Okay, they say that, okay, wish them happy birthday, or wish them this. అంటే wishes సరిపోదు, they have to record us wishing.
Yes.
If you're constantly holding the phone and you're constantly recording something, how are you enjoying? How are you living in the moment? You're not connecting anymore, kada. And if for every 2 minutes you expect the song to change mid song, what is the point of you coming to the show and listening? You can just hit next on your phone and listen to music. That's what they're expecting. This is what needs to change. It's a lot to do with how people's mindsets are changing with social media, and also what they're expecting from the artist on stage. There's not much value that is going to the artist that they deserve. నాకనే చెప్పను, any artist who is performing, that's what they're getting, and that's very disappointing to see that responses. But then there are good people who are listening.
Right.
I'm not giving a general statement there, but that's what's going to happen also.
Yeah. So can we talk about this? Like, in fact, a regular club going, table purchasing, 40,000 spending people versus, okay, there is great music, let me go there. And then that guy will go purchase a beer or whatever. But there are these two separate things. Like, already here, then plan is going purchasing 40,000, now play music, let me enjoy. Is one thing. Then second, okay, Priyanka is playing, let's just go have some fun, basically. This is how I saw. Is this how you saw? Is this how you saw? And so the thing is, and the why I'm saying is, from this aspect, I believe that chorus singing, 1 minute changing stuff happens where
This is the most irritating.
Definitely irritating, and I feel when you rightly said, it's getting worser.
It is going to get worse.
It's in fact, even from 6 years, it kept getting worse, and it's getting worser now, basically. Whereas this side, we want to keep all our optimistic thoughts alive and things like that, and we want to say that it's getting better here.
There
somewhere.
are two sides.
Yeah.
There are two sides of people, but I've seen that growth towards negative side more. Maybe it's my perspective, but at least I hope that the message goes out to the audience. Okay, behave.
Yeah.
There's an artist, there's a person on stage spending hours on practice, hours on getting people together, hours on getting the venues, or they don't know the story behind it.
Right.
So hours on getting gigs and managing their social media or whatever it is, and performing for you. You show them that respect. So ilantidi, if you look at the traditional way of kacheris or sit downs and listen, baitaks and all that, people don't just walk out from the center of the audience. That is not the respect that they used to give. But adi pub culture anachu, social media anachu, whatever you want to call it, that has changed a lot. Unless and until you give that respect to the artist, they won't feel like coming back to the show or giving you a good time. Why would I want to care about your Instagram when I can go jam with my friends if I wanted to? Ante kada.
Yeah. ఇది right about behavior, especially in these crowds. I have initially naive days where I said independent ఎక్కడ పడితే అక్కడ నేను పెట్టేస్తా అని I put independent music in certain clubs. The crowd bullied me. వాడైతే ఒక నన్ను కొట్టడానికి వచ్చేసాడు. అరే, that guy was, I mean, multiple people, in fact, not just one. On different occasions, they were so disappointed that artists were playing their own music. I'm telling them this is their highest art form. This is something that they're passionately doing, basically. But దిస్ పర్సన్ కి అది లేదు, ఆ కిక్ లేదు, ఆ జోష్ లేదు, మంది ఎక్కట్లేదు వాడికి. బేసిక్లీ ఎవరు మేనేజర్ ఎవరు ఇక్కడ ఇట్లా వచ్చేసాడు నా దానికి, ఏం చేస్తున్నావు, వైబ్ అంతా పడిపోయింది అంటే, నేను వైబ్ చక్కర్నా ఏమన్నా నువ్వు చెప్పగానే ఇట్లా పెంచేయడానికి. సో అంటే సో మెనీ without taking names, obviously, many of the venue owners also say as the night progresses BPM పెరగాలి, BPM పెరిగితే ఆల్కహాల్ సేల్స్ ఎక్కువ అవుతాయి అని. Direct they say this to me.
But at the same time, if you drop a song, cover song, which is absolutely slow, absolutely melodious in the middle of that, bro.
Yeah, okay.
It's a surprise element, obviously.
Yeah, of course,
that is the case, but
of course.
Yeah, again, perspective. Not everybody is going to be so accepting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's more in terms of alcohol move avali bar nunchi. That's it. That responsibility is a guy standing on stage, and I felt there's no link between that in this. First of all, we made that link happen. It's like నేను ఈ బ్యాండ్ తెచ్చేస్తాను, 10 లక్షలు సేల్ అయిపోవాలి, ఈ బ్యాండ్ తెచ్చే 5 లక్షలు సేల్ అయిపోవాలి, లేకపోతే ఐ బ్రింగ్ ద I'm talking about making a causal link here. I'm not giving you a bad band here. I am not giving you bad music here. If your alcohol is not moving, maybe that's your venue's problem. Are you giving enough hospitality?
It depends on the food also.
The food as well. So there are so many aspects to consider that automatically all venues are thinking band is equal to revenue. It doesn't work that way. It's so tough. And you're monopolizing only those 5-6 bands ki shuffle cheskuntu untam basically manam, and those targets are just ridiculous.
ఇప్పుడు అంతా కావాలంటే there is this one small cafe. It's not a small cafe, it's an open area cafe. I started there. I used to perform for 400 bucks, 400 rupees. Okay, I improved a lot as an artist, understanding the audience and everything. But now they don't have live music. మరి వాళ్ళ business ఎట్లా నడుస్తుంది? Something to think about, no? They don't market themselves a lot, but they have been consistent in their food, in their ambience. ఏది వెంటనే చేంజ్ అయ్యారు. That also matters. And with the food industry, consistency is everything. That's if you miss out on one bad review. ఇప్పుడు ఎంతసేపు బ్రో గూగుల్లో ఏదో ఒక పబ్ తీసుకొని ఇట్లా బిహేవ్ చేసిండు అని చెప్పేసి పెట్టేస్తే అయిపోయాయి. Food is not good and ఒక్క రివ్యూ పెట్టేస్తే పడిపోతే రేటింగ్. It's not entirely on this thing, no, how you treat customers, how the food is there, how the presentation is, how the ambience of the place is, everything matters. If you just blame it on the artist, that's not going to work out.
Yeah.
Even the sound system matters. The sound system matters
so much, and
చెప్తున్నా కదా, the audience does. ఇప్పుడు let's go back a few years, okay, 10 years or 15 years before the live music scene happened in Hyderabad or whatever it is. I don't know the number of years, like enta venakellali ani. If you look back at it, even for cinema music, there was a vibe. Articles were written in newspapers. There was no social media, right? Articles were written in newspapers. They were poets coming out with short stories. వాళ్ళ కథల కోసం ఎదురు చూసేవారు every day. Right, so artist ki oka visibility, it's on a newspaper, so the visibility is there obviously. Nikanta social media lo unnanta hype lekapayana nika respect undadi. Are this person has a very new perspective, listen to that or whatever. You recognize that person because it was written down by somebody about that other person.
Yeah.
Ippudu ekkudundi bro?
If that stories social Instagram stories,
if you, and people wouldn't hesitate about writing about stuff. If you look at Sirvenela garu or Sri or all those great poets that I can mention, ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు చాలా విషయాల మీద రాశారు. People ఇప్పుడు ఆయన ఒక యాంగ్రీ ఎమోషన్ తో రాస్తే ఆ ఎమోషన్ కన్వే అయ్యేది. వాట్ ఎవర్, the importance of the artist, what goes behind writing lyrics for a particular situation in a song. ప్రతిదీ నీకు ఒక స్టోరీ లాగా చెప్పుకునేవారు జనాలు, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కడుంది అది? ఎక్కడ ఉంది ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్స్ దేర్ అవుట్ ఆన్ సోషల్, ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ వీ బోత్ ఆర్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ఫలానా ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఇస్ డూయింగ్ సో వెల్ ఇన్ ద సీన్, మనం మాట్లాడుకుంటే సరిపోదు కదా. ది ఆడియన్స్ హ్యాస్ టు నో వాట్స్ ద స్టోరీ బిహైండ్ ద ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఇస్ వెల్, రైట్? నువ్వు ఓన్లీ ఆర్ట్ ని చూస్తా ఆర్టిస్ట్ ని చూడదంటే నడవదు అది, నీకు దాని ఎసెన్సే అర్థం కాదు. ఎందుకు ఎక్కుతుంది అది నీకు? సింపుల్.
It's crazy. So so basically social media is one tool that you absolutely must be on, and specifically Instagram. Specifically
Snapchat.
Of course you have to be on WhatsApp
I
statuses
hope somebody blocks all these apps, bro. I hate making content.
Yes. So there's so much pressure because Instagram lo, if you don't have a following or if you don't have regular content posting, these are frequencies that actually don't matter to art, but you must be present in all three fronts, making reels, making increasing your follower list and doing all of these things, and then hoping that opportunities come, because this is the only solution that people are trying to do here. Let's grow Instagram, business వచ్చేస్తుంది అని. ఎందుకు వస్తుంది ఇప్పుడు నేను genuinely I wanted to curate some music, you know, on many venues, wanted to curate some new musicians. They keep asking left, right and center and they get their profile. Now many people who apply, you know, who ask for me also, give me opportunities and చెప్తా. They send a profile, they send an Instagram profile, నేను చూస్తా reel 1 Instagram music ఏదో కట్ ఉంటుంది అందులో, reel 2 some Instagram music some కట్ ఉంటుంది. There's nowhere where I can judge what that person is doing inside that video, or inside where I don't have a link towards where I can listen to it. I don't have a thing to actually say I'm confident about this person. How do I curate this person? So this social media pressure has been quite unreal. Like, you tell me in little bits of your term and I'll add what we have been trying to do to rectify this. Your pressure in terms of, I know you're dead this thing, sampedam andarni ane feel lo the apps
because at one point you're like, I don't even want to look at my phone, not even to answer my calls. Anta chirak dabulunది because even Sidhu says this, that you know, Instagram ఎక్కువ వాడుతున్నావు, నంబర్స్ ఎక్కువ చూస్తున్నావు, ఆర్ రీల్స్ ఎక్కువ చూస్తున్నావు, యూ జస్ట్ కీప్ ఆన్ స్వైపింగ్. ఇట్స్ చేంజింగ్ మై ఓన్ మెంటాలిటీ ఆల్సో. ఐఎమ్ ఇంట్రోస్పెక్టింగ్ అబౌట్ ఇట్, నో వరీస్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. బట్ జనాలు ఆలోచించే చేస్తున్నారు అనేది పెద్ద క్వశ్చన్ అక్కడ. ఇప్పుడు ఆబ్వియస్లీ there's a lot of adult content that is going to be translated into this, and ఏదో మ్యూజిక్ పెట్టేది ఏదో ఒకటి నడుస్తుంది అక్కడ. కానీ lot of negative impact on the musicians about this. ఇప్పుడు if you want, ఇప్పుడు I think IMP in general is doing a great job that okay, నీ మ్యూజిక్ పెట్టు, ఎక్కువ వద్దు, నీ దగ్గర కంటెంట్ ఉంది, ఓకే యు ఆర్ ఎన్ ఒరిజినల్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ అంటే నువ్వు నీ మ్యూజిక్ పెట్టు, నేను వింటా, నచ్చితే విల్ గివ్ యూ గిగ్స్ ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్. దట్ ఈస్ అ గ్రేట్ వే టు స్టార్ట్. బట్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్ ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ ఎట్ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ ఓవర్ దేర్, నీకు రీల్స్ తప్ప ఇంకేం కనిపిస్తుంది.
అదే కదా, అంటే see, cool attention span and all of this తెలియాలి. And we created a system where your artist profile on IMP app projects a bunch of different assets. పైన ఒక షో రీల్ పెట్టాం. బై ద వే రీసెంట్లీ ఆ షో రీల్ వచ్చింది కదా, షో రీల్ పెట్టాం. వి క్రియేటెడ్ దట్ అబౌట్ సెక్షన్, డిస్కోగ్రఫీ ఉంది, యూట్యూబ్ లైబ్రరీ ఉంది. మాకు మా ఓన్ లైబ్రరీ లేదు, బికాస్ యూట్యూబ్ లో మీకు రెవెన్యూ ఉంది. వై షుడ్ వి కట్ చేయలేదు? లెట్స్ కీప్ దట్ యూట్యూబ్ సపరేట్. We have your past performances, we have if there are upcoming events. So how we created ante, నీకు టైం లేదు, I get it, 2 minutes spend చేయి, but 2 minutes go through this profile, not attached to it. ఈ profile చూసి then look at their LinkedIn and Instagram and all that to get a better idea. So this is what we want to tell artists, and we are creating this new system where you can share your artist profile on WhatsApp also, and you can open it on, your clients can open it on browser without the app. So ఆ కొంచెం క్వాలిటీ తెలియాలి వాళ్ళకి. ఓ అచ్చా, వీళ్ళ దగ్గర ఇంత ఉందా, ఇన్ని చేసేసారా, అట్లా కొంచెం షాక్ అవ్వాలి. రాదర్ దెన్ ఇప్పుడు ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఎంత క్రేజీ మ్యూజిక్ అన్నా చేయని, ఓపెన్ చేస్తా వాళ్ళ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ ప్రొఫైల్ 3000 అని చూస్తారు వీళ్ళు ఫాలోవర్స్, ఆర్ 1900 అని చూస్తారు. బడానే అంటాడు.
ఐ గెట్ ద సేమ్ ఇంప్రెషన్. ఇప్పుడు కన్యా రాశి అవని, నా దరిద్రం ఏంటంటే బ్రో, before I came to the IMP event, I lost my Instagram
Yeah,
Instagram
I
account.
remember.
Okay, I had 2,200 followers or some number I had to ఇప్పుడు నాకు నచ్చదు యాడ్స్ రన్ చేసి నీకు ఏదో చూపించి నేను ఏదో అని చెప్పుకోవడం నాకు నచ్చదు. I hate that Instagram whatever you call
Whatever,
it.
yeah.
Okay. It took me 2.5 years to build that audience again. 2,000 cross అవ్వడానికి నాకు అంత టైం పట్టింది. Same time with Kanya Rasi also. ఇప్పుడు I could have easily spent money from my pocket to get those followers, but why should I? Right? So just because I can paint a false image, a facade, and
ఈ ఒక్కసారి సిస్టమ్ రెడీ అయిపోగానే ఐ యాక్చువల్లీ వాంట్ టు టెస్ట్ అవుట్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ ప్రొఫైల్ విత్ డిఫరెంట్ పీపుల్, because I have a lot of opportunity to pitch multiple artists basically, and the way I pitch, I bring in opportunities either from myself or from corporates or something like that. I truly believe artists, if they're here, people who work with us need to get opportunities. They have to basically మేము ఒక యాక్సలరేషన్ ఇవ్వాలి. అంటే if you're taking వాడికి digital portfolio undali, they should have a digital content among them. I'll give them the assets, I'll content all this, and I'll put them on stage.
Ivanni
correct, ivanni pack chesi present chestam world ki. Now you do your best in getting that stuff. We've been trying to do this informally. I mean, we've been trying to do not in this streamlined manner, but we've been trying to do informally. So this particular profile, this particular artist profile, how we have built it, shares that story of the artist, shares the actual art of it, and it's free of cost. There's no advertisements on it. There's no you have actually,
you don't have to pay subscription.
You don't have to pay subscription. You have been, and you are one of the most quite active as a thing, who kept coming back and putting out more content, and now there's finally somewhere where now shoot the profile basically, you know.
I think ఇప్పుడు IMP స్టార్ట్ చేయడమే, I don't know what your initial vision was, but ఎక్కడో తగిలింది బ్రో, అది ఎక్కడో తగిలింది అది. I know for sure that ముందుకు వెళ్తుంది, చాలా దూరం వెళ్తుంది అని చెప్పేసి. బికాస్ ఎక్కడుండే బ్రో ఏదో 3 సాంగ్స్ నుంచి 30 సాంగ్స్, ఇట్ వోంట్ హ్యాపెన్ వితౌట్ దట్ ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ ఆల్సో. నో, ఇఫ్ ఐ డోంట్ నో దట్ దేర్ ఇస్ అ కమ్యూనిటీ, బయట జనాలు ఉన్నారు, వింటారు, మనతో పాటు వర్క్ చేయడానికి ముందుకు వస్తారు. There's producers working together, mixers and mastering engineers working together. There's artists like guitarists, like intamandi bro. Like I was surprised at the number of artists who were doing this. And it's a lot to consume. Ante it is for a fresher who is new to the scene, it will be very overwhelming to take all this positivity also. And on top of that, when you're doing all these initiatives, I think it's a great way to start. ఇప్పటివరకు లేదు అది, ఎక్కడుంది? You either had to have an artist manager. That is a different
episode 2.
Episode 2. Okay, I hope so. Okay. You either had to have an artist manager who is looking after your gigs, who is looking after how you are represented out in the public, or నువ్వు ఎలాంటివి చేయాలని వాళ్ళు డిసైడ్ చేసి, దే డిసైడ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ దట్ గోస్ బిహైండ్ ఇన్ ద బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అండ్ ఆల్ దాట్. There are instances where you don't even have control over your own social media. I've seen that with a lot of artists out there. You don't have control over it. వాళ్ళకి నచ్చింది వాళ్ళు పెట్టుకుంటారు. They give the audience what the algorithm is supporting, right? So that's not going to help the artist at the end of the day. It's going to go downwards in our opinion. But adokati. But if you're showing the real side of how good their music is, or any songs they say, all that, that's something.
Absolutely. Even the guy who wants to give it a shot, now there's no platform to give it a shot. Ante em pampiche opportunities. Ippudu you want a job on a CV anna pampali kada. ఆ CV కూడా ఓ మంచి ఫార్మాట్ లేదు. ఫర్ Behance is there for these designers beautiful
GitHub
for developers, and then I kept looking at it in the fact that actually that is the starting point. Artists don't have a good enough representation where that is enough for them to grab opportunity, and grab opportunities, and the quickest way is live. Get on the stage, start earning. Get on the stage, build that fan base, build that few, even 10-15 supporters. They will be the ones who will actually kickstart.
Provided your content is also good.
Of course, of course.
That is subjective according to the artist, but
yeah.
మనకు
తెలుసులే కదా.
కంటెంట్ అంటున్నాను చూడు మళ్ళీ.
But anyway,
speak the language, bro.
I know. ఇప్పుడు ఇదంతా కట్ చేసి నేను రీల్స్ చేయాలన్నమాట. ది irony of it. ఇదంతా చేసి మళ్ళీ but this is in fact
ఎట్లుంది తెలుసా,
ఇంత వాడు చెప్తాడు కదా, భయం వేస్తుందని హర్రర్ సినిమాలు చూడకుండా ఉండాలి. But nevertheless, we want to still do it for free, of course. We want to get the message out there, get those people empowered, get. We are ahead of time, little honestly. All of us, in fact, over 2-3 years, we are ahead of time. People still
features also.
Yeah. There's a lot of collaboration features also coming up next. Ippudu try hitting connect.
Okay.
So ఏమవుతుందంటే, if you hit connect on your profile, if you send someone connect ante, it'll ask, is it for booking, is it for collaboration, or a general message?
I saw that feature.
You saw that feature, yeah. We want to make it even more simple, saying that book చేసుకోవాలంటే just చెప్పేసి ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఏమేమి ఉందో, the artist will get back to you.
Everybody so download IMP app. You will take bookings from IMP app only.
Oh yeah,
something like that should happen.
Absolutely, yeah. Some slowly I want people to pick that up. ఇప్పుడు Bandcamp use చేసేవాళ్ళు మ్యూజిక్ షేర్ చేయడానికి. That's a great way. SoundCloud, they used to SoundCloud is our number one inspiration, by the way. I have been a vivid member of SoundCloud. The artists that I found on SoundCloud were, I don't think I would have found out on Apple or YouTube also. Algorithm based. Idante etukkunte వెళ్ళిపోయాను నేను అట్లా. It was presenting me. So I wanted that to happen basically. Suddenly you want to stumble across new music. Suddenly you want to stumble across new artists. So like that, I wanted that this thing to become one passport sort of a thing. Saying that I don't want to earn any money out of you. For me, the ambition is music బయటికి వెళ్ళాలి. నాకు ఆ సాధుర్యంలో ఎట్లా అయిపోయిందో అట్లా అవ్వాలి నాకు బేసిక్లీ. అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఆర్టిస్ట్ హ్యాస్ అ మ్యూజిక్ లైక్ దట్. ఎవ్రీ అంటే చిల్స్ వచ్చే సాంగ్ అనేది, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఈవెన్ లుకింగ్ ఎట్ దట్. ఫెరోజ్ రైజ్ డస్ ఇట్ కదా.
That is my workout song.
That is my workout song. అది ఫెరోజ్ వాయిస్ పడగానే ఇట్లా లేస్తుంది మనోడి.
Are we doing a song together?
Yeah. Oh shit, very crazy.
మనోడు దొరకట్లేదు నాకు, but
Deloitte కదా, Deloitte
he's
boy.
like no, he's like first he finished the soundtrack and then come back to me.
Oh, acha.
He has a different way of working together,
Right.
but I really like that people in the gang, they're like, I know they have a very huge name inside and outside of India also, but you get to see how they are in person, gems of boys.
Seriously. Absolutely, yeah.
I never had a chance to talk to Vaker because one would have to find No, he just sits and listens like, okay, you guys.
కొంచెం మందు పోయి వేకర్కి
Maybe one day we will sit
చాలా బాగా మాట్లాడతారు. వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ guy. But thank you so much, Priyanka. Crazy stuff this was. I did not want to do this if the first episode wasn't with you. I didn't mind waiting also. I was telling her as well, saying that no, wait cheddam mana. I'm not comfortable doing it first time. So no, our journeys are kind of similar. We'll do this. The more Priyanka grows, the more IMP grew, by the way.
It's vice versa, bro.
But amazing. I got off my stuff also. You wanna strum a little? You want to strum a little? Koncham, I need some unreleased stuff, something like that. We'll
do a few lines of Bapu.
Yes, that's lovely.
Bapu sakkanode sakkani manasu gundelo kosarunna vanagani palukuvaade Bapu sakkano నా